hiking down a river, like we were backpacking, and the trail was a river, and this guy we were with said, hey guys, watch out for quicksand, and we were like, haha, and he said, no, really, there are pockets of quicksand in the river, you have to be careful. And I was like, what? I don't know if you've seen a movie ever, but quicksand is incredibly hazardous to humans and also horses. And he said, don't worry, this is nothing like movie quicksand, it's just small pockets, you gotta be careful. And I was like, well, that's comforting. And we kept hiking down the river for many miles, and I forgot about the quicksand until I took a step and my foot kept going past the ground because the river ate my leg. And the problem with that was that I was wearing a very heavy pack, and so I just went whoof, face first into the water, and I tried to scream, but I was underwater, so I felt like I was drowning, and the man who was walking next to me had to grab my backpack and lift me out of the water like a cartoon character.
Story time about my toxic best friend group. So a little background information. I was 16, and it was the end of 9th grade going into summer break. And one day randomly these 3 girls added me on Snapchat and put me into a group chat. Now, I had seen them around school, but I never said hi to them. I was finding it very hard to make friends in 9th grade because everybody was so toxic. Anyways, like I said, they added me to a group chat, and all of them said hi to me. And usually I wouldn't respond to random people on Snapchat, but because I had seen them around school, I decided why not. And it was so random, they just started sending pictures of themselves into this group chat, and it low-key made me feel bad because I kind of hated my physical appearance. But anyways, they asked me if I wanted to be friends with them. Oh, and by the way, their names were Stacy, Savannah, and Emily. So of course I said yeah because it was hard for me to make friends. So fast forward, my birthday was coming up. So they asked me if we could hang out. They said they wanted to give me an early birthday present. So I said yes, of course. Like for part 2. Part 2 about my toxic friend group. So like I said, they asked me if we could hang out to give me an early birthday present. So I said yeah. And Emily had a pool at her house, so they asked me if I wanted to go over there. And of course I said yeah, it was summertime and it was hot outside. Well, when I got there, they asked me to order the pizza and they said that I had to pay for it. So I said yeah, because they were my besties at the time. So I used some of my birthday money to pay for the pizza for all of us. And when I got back to Emily's house, they were all already in the pool. So I was kind of mad. 1, because they didn't go with me, and 2, they were just hanging out without me. So we're sitting there eating the pizza. And then after, all 3 of them get in the pool and they start taking pictures with each other, not even asking me to be in any pictures. So at that point, I was so annoyed. I was just like, you guys are being so rude. And Emily's like, what are you talking about? We didn't even do anything. And then, of course, Stacy and Savannah agreed. So I was like, 1, you didn't even ask me to be in any pictures and you made me pay for the pizza for all of us. And she was like, you're ugly. We didn't want you in the pictures. So I threw the pizza away and went home.
Near camp, I was sharing a cabin with a group of girls, but one girl in particular was named Tiffany, and she was very sweet, but very terrifying. She was very proper, and she liked things a certain way. We were all very rambunctious, except for her and her friend Nicole, who she spent most of her time with. And one night, she came into the middle of the cabin, and she was like, guys, after you're done getting ready for bed tonight, can we please have a cabin meeting? And we all said, yeah, totally, we can do that. And then we all got ready for bed very slowly because we were terrified. And then when there were no teeth left to brush, we were like, I guess we're doing this. So we all went over to Tiffany's bed, and she was like, I didn't want to have this conversation with you guys, but we're going to be living together for a full month. And so I feel like I kind of have to. And I was talking with Nicole about it too, and we've just decided that, like, we should all just start letting our farts out. Like, if you have to fart, just do it, because I've been holding mine in all week, and it really hurts.
I think I saw a ghost. Story time. So one day, I was hanging out with my cousin at his house, and it was starting to get pretty late, so I decided to sleep over. And that was pretty normal because me and my cousin are pretty close, so I stay there all the time. He stays over here all the time. But this night was really different. So we go to bed and everything was fine, but sometime in the middle of the night, I had to use the bathroom. So I get up, it's pitch black, I didn't want to turn on the lights because I didn't want to wake him, and I stumble my way down the hall to the bathroom. After I use it, I start washing my hands, and then I hear a knock at the bathroom door, so I open it, and it's my cousin. And he looked like he was still half asleep, like half dead, so I was like, oh, do you need to use the bathroom? And he doesn't respond to me, and he just walks past me and goes inside. So I'm like, okay, whatever. I go back to his bedroom, and I flip on the light because it's pitch black, and then I hear my cousin say, what are you doing? Can you turn that off? I look over and my cousin is still sleeping in bed.
One time my friend and I went into Victoria's Secret and her boyfriend was with us and we were like, come into the store with us, it won't be weird. And he said, my only problem with that store is I just don't know exactly where to look without coming off as creepy. And I was like, the one thing that I can tell you in that situation is that you can peruse the underwear, you can look at the posters on the walls of the models, but you can talk to your partner who came in with you or whoever you brought in the store with you, but don't make eye contact with the other people shopping for undies. Just don't do it. There's nothing I hate more than when I'm shopping for any kind of underwear and I'm like, ooh, this is cute. And then I will look up and make eye contact with a random man and it'll just be like, never mind. One time this guy invited me on a date to play pickleball and I said, okay, but just so you know, I don't excel at those kind of games. I ran cross country in high school because I do not know how to catch, throw, or kick a ball. I'm not so good with the balls. And he was like, don't worry, it's going to be super easy. People catch on super fast. And so we went to his gym and he checked us into this little like pickleball space and he was trying to teach me how to play and it wasn't going well. And he said, here, try to serve. And so when I tried to serve, I accidentally shot the ball straight up to the ceiling and it was a high ceiling, but it broke the light. And I said, should we go tell somebody that I broke the light in this room? And he was like, no, we should run. And then after we left, he never asked me out again for some reason.
Back when I was in middle school, my sister had got pregnant in high school. And she got pregnant by a guy which she was dating for around like 8 months. When my sister finally got the guts, she had told our parents. And my mom and dad were extremely furious. My mom had told her that she's not allowing her child to bring any bastard children in the world. And that the only way that she can have her baby is if she gets married. And my parents were really religious. My dad was a preacher. My dad's ultimatum to her was to either get married or have an abortion. He really cared about our image to the church, and he said that she needed to get married. My sister at the time, she really wanted the baby, so she kind of proposed to the guy that she was dating in a way. But he had said no. 2 weeks later, the reason why he said no was because he already had another child and another baby on the way. Come back for present. Part 2 of how my sister proposed to a guy that she was dating. So her boyfriend had said no, and she ended up finding out the reason why he said no was because he already had another child and another baby on the way. But she didn't find out through him. She found out through his mom. She had went to his mom to get her blessing, and she spilled everything. And his mom had no clue that she even existed. The whole time that they were together, he was already with 2 other women. She had first saw his son, who was running around in the house. And the girl that was pregnant at the time was the girl that he was dating for like 2 years. Instead of her receiving his mom's blessing, his mom told my sister to stay away from him because she don't want her ended up like his other baby mamas. Not knowing the reason why she even asked for his blessing was because she was pregnant as well. After everything his mom told her, she told her thank you, and she left.
Am I wrong for refusing to pay my sister's bill and giving her information to the restaurant after she ditched me? This happened last night. My sister and her boyfriend recently moved to a town next to mine. I was excited as we'll be able to see more of each other now. Nearby, there's a downtown center that has a lot of shopping, restaurants, galleries, etc. There is one upscale restaurant that both my husband and I love. A dinner for 2 will run you about $200 to $250, so it's not a place we frequently go to. My sister called me last week and invited us out to dinner with them at the restaurant last night. I reminded her it was an upscale place and to take a look at the menu beforehand because they are pricey and we can go somewhere else, tons of other great places to choose from. She said they still wanted to go. We hadn't been there in a while, so we accepted. Dinner was great. At the end of the meal, my sister excuses herself to the bathroom, and when she doesn't come back relatively soon, her boyfriend goes to find her. After a while, neither of them comes back. We go to check for them and they're gone. I call and text her and she texts me back saying that they've left but thanks for dinner. It was just as amazing as you said it would be. I asked her what she meant but no response. I texted again asking if she really just stuck us with the bill and no response.